Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Wizard Study. This is episode 8 of a 52-week series. Starting this week, there will be no premiere videos. They'll just air. We're going to texture this desk today, and to do so, I'm going to use Poliigon texturing. I'm going to show you, I'm going to have a video. It's going to be up here. There'll be a link. That link will show you where I go to get my textures, what textures I'm choosing, and it's going to show you how to apply these, how to get the program to apply these textures. It's going to show you how to make the textures look dirty, scratched. I'm going to show you all of that in this video, but I'm going to show you where I get it in like a commercial video for Poliigon. With the power of editing and my magic wand, which I don't have with me, but with the power of editing, we'll be right back.
2 hours later.
Hey guys, we're back. So if you missed it, that video showed you how I get my textures, how to apply the textures as far as the software that's used to help set up your nodes. It's an automatic node setup. It's wonderful. And I'm going to show you that in this video as well when we start to texture. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to do each piece individually. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark or make some corners rounded, because there are no such thing as true sharp corners in real life. I mean, if I look down at my desk, you guys can't see it, I have a rounded corner. Let's take this box, for example. This box. This corner, get my arm around my... This corner is not sharp. That corner has a small radius on it. This corner is not sharp. Same thing. It has little dimples and everything. This corner is not sharp because I can see my light bouncing off on here and then going around this corner edge and coming back over. There's a lot of, you can see that right here. There's a lot of areas that are not sharp. I mean, the only time you really use a sharp corner would be on a piece of paper. And it's not really even sharp. So what we're going to do is we're going to mess this up a little bit by using the bevel. Control B. We're going to put a couple of corners on there. This one's going to be bigger because you'd break that up. This one here, we're going to just do a Control B. I'm pulling it out here so I can see that there's no other add-ons. And then we're going to do that over here on this corner. This corner here, I'm going to make it round. Control B. Something like that. One of the things I want to do is I want to make this a separate board from this. So I am going to grab this whole area. This, and this. Let's also grab that and here. I'm hitting control, holding control when I do that. Okay, now we're going to separate selection. And then we're going to tab out. I'm going to select that one and hit H to hide. Tab back into this one. And we're just going to take this face here and get rid of it. We're going to go over to this face over here. Hit F to fill it. Should have went all the way down, but I bet there's two little dots there. Okay, so we're going to undo that. We're going to go back to vertices. I'm going to grab these two. We're going to dissolve them. Then we're going to come in here, click this one, hit F to fill all the way down. Now that this is a separate board, we're going to radius this board on top and bottom from here to here. And we're just going to do it just a slight little bit to catch the lighting. So Control B. We're going to turn these rounds down. Slight little bit. Now, the reason why I separated that board from this other board Because if I pull it back in, then just show these two. Shift H. Now if you look, you can see the light's catching that radius. It's going to show like a crack. So now what we want to do, is going to hide that one, tab into this one. We're going to come over and we're going to check for vertices. There are none. And then I'm going to select one of these lines and hit F to fill. Alright, now we're going to do a top select and a bottom select. We're going to go back to edge. The reason why I did those selects is because it's easier to select the whole all the way around. I'm going to pick this corner too. We're going to do these corners. I'm going to do a Control B. Sometimes it's tricky on where this starts at. There. Just a small visual break. I'm going to tab out Alt H. Now you can see that crack between the two boards. Alright, so we're going to pick this one here and this one, because we're going to do these at the same time. Shift H. Now we're going to apply a material. Okay, that's where this area over here comes in. So I have this one selected. Yes, I already have a material applied, but this was a placeholder from episode 7, just so it wasn't white. So we're going to go down to the material property tab. We'll close out the surface area because I don't need that. But over here at textures, now the video I just made earlier showed you how to get this Poliigon material converter. So I'm not going to go over it again. It's in the link over there. Basically, these are where all my textures are located. I'm going to hit this just in case they're not up to date. And then I'm going to pick my wood. So what wood did I get today? So wood flooring 65. You'll get double numbers from time to time because it just does it. I don't know why. Like 65. Look at how many 65s I got. So I just don't pick the one that's flat. So I'm going to load and apply. Alright, now one of the problems is this texture here is not unwrapped. So we're going to go into this texture that the object, and we need to mark some seams. So I'm going to pick right around in the middle there. It's going to go all the way around the whole top because I was holding Alt when I selected it. And we're going to right mouse click and mark that as a seam. And then the bottom, see, I want like 2 in. Okay, let's hit the decimal point so we can zoom in better. I'm going to hit it right here. This one, I'm going to hit Alt, select it. It goes all the way around. We are going to mark seam. And I want it to unravel from this corner here because you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to mark that seam. So basically, what I just did was I said this whole top surface is in one area. This whole surface all the way around and back to this corner is going to be a long straight strip. And this bottom surface is its own area. So if I hit A to all, UV unwrap, you can see UV unwrapping. For some reason lately it's been not acting right. I mean, if I have, oh, you know, I probably have, let's hide this one over here. Let's go back into this one. I probably don't have these connected at this corner point. There. Okay, so that was my fault right there. That one and that one. We're going to mark that as a seam. So basically, I created a slit, but it didn't connect to the other pieces. So it was kind of like a circle. You know, it was fully connected all the way around. It just had a slit. So we're going to do the unwrap again. And that's more like what you would see, where this is straight the whole way, and then you get the two ends. And now over here, I don't know why I pointed at it, over here you would come up to, I'm gonna make this bigger, make this smaller down here. You would go to like UV, and you could say average island scale. So what that means is, let's say, I gotta figure out what's going on here too. But let's say this area here, let's say you made this scaled bigger. Well, if you come in, you hit all, hit UV, average island scale, it's gonna bring the big ones and the little ones an average amount. But there's something wrong here. This is, and to find out which one's which, I'm gonna, okay, so the top. So there's something wrong with the bottom that makes it not right. So what could that be? So this corner here is over here. So that's this corner here. So there's probably a disconnect here somewhere. I'm not seeing. Now, if you come up to faces and you come in here and say L, since it's an island, it will connect everything that faces are touching before a seam. So it picks that one main surface out. If you have it on edge loop and you just say L, it's going to pick everything. Or vertices, it's going to pick everything. But with faces, you hit L, it's just that the faces that are connected within that seam. So why is that radius there and this one like that? I don't know. All right, so this surface here, we want everything inside the surface, and we want everything inside this surface. So basically all that little bit of rounded area, and we're going to go to 7, top view. We're going to go to UV, project from view. I just stacked everything on top of each other. If I wanted them to have a different texture, which doesn't matter on this one, I can hit G or L inside here with surfaces, and then I can come over here, hit A, G, move it down. See how the texture moves? Now if I hit all, you can see they're not on top of each other. Now we want to do this full band out here, so we're going to come over here with the faces. We're going to say L, UV. We're just going to do an unwrap. Now it kind of stuck it in there, and I'm trying to think. You got to think, if this wood came this way, what would the grain over here look like? Would it be lines like this? Now we're not going to see. Oh yeah, we are going to see this surface and this surface. This grain is going to go this way, and this grain is going to go this way. So what we actually need to do is we need to come around here, like here, and do a seam. Forgot about that when I was marking my seams. So this, or one of the things you can do is you can select all of this, and since we want a certain direction, let's say let's go to front view, the view 1, we can do a UV project from view. Now when you look at it, it's going in the right direction, but this other one is not right. So we can come over here, like right about here, I suppose. And I don't know the exact right way of doing this. We can go to 3, go UV, project from view. And then you're like, yeah, it looks like it's the same way, but now we can come over here and rotate 90. Now it's the other way. So I don't know exactly how to do this corner. because it's going to be coming at you. It's like pretty much all of this that's not straight would be this texture over here. So we can come over here and go AR90. Actually, I'd come back here and go all the way over here. And we're going to go to, oops, wrong view for to go 3. So we're gonna do this side here. So here, control, click there. No, what we're gonna do, sorry, we're gonna hit Alt here. Hit my period button so I can get closer. So I want to make sure that I have up to there. I want to get to the seam. It's going to be a mark seam. So we're cutting the seam up. And I didn't do that over here. So we're going to pick here, hit the period button so we can zoom in. And do these ones. Mark seam. And we don't need to do this corner. We're not going to see this. But we might as, yeah, we might as well. I'm going to pick it, period, so I can get closer. Click there, mark seam. Alright. So I am going to hit L in this area. That should go to the corner. And then I'm going to hit L in this area. Then I'm going to go 3. That's the end view. We're going to go to UV, project from view. Then I want to go to this view. Hit L here. L here. Go to 1. We're going to go project from view. That's up here. UV, project from view. Alright, so now I'm going to come back to here. Say L and L. That's linked. That's what L stands for, I believe. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to see all of it. I'm going to do AR90. It's nothing like an AR15. So everything looks good. Now I'm going to do an A to select everything. Do A again. I want to do UV average island size. Now that everything is correct scale to each other, because I never changed the scale. My scale of my board should be where's the scale at? That's weird. Oh, I tab out. My scale should all be 1. So I'm going to tab back in. If your scale is like messed up, your textures will be out of whack because your textures are based on 1-to-1 scale. So make sure you always apply your scaling or know that you need to change something. But anyways, so here's this. They're relative to the same size, but they're not the size I want. Because this is 4 foot. So we're going to scale these up so that grain gets smaller. Not too much. I don't want too much of a repeat pattern. That looks good. Tab out. We're doing Alt H to bring in the rest. You know, I'm actually going to rotate this 90. R90. Tab out. And the reason I did that is because I want this wood to go this way. Alright. Texturing takes time. So when I come up here to do all this texture, I'm probably gonna time lapse it because it's gonna take me a long time to texture all that up there. Trying not to get each pocket to be identical. But, sorry, I hit the mic. We're going to do the top of the table together. And I'm going to do some cabinet fronts. And then I'm going to time lapse from there. So, I'm going to show you this piece here. We're going to do this one. So let's grab both of these again. We're going to do a Shift H. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to tab in. Select that top face. Select the bottom face. And we're going to go back to edges. We're going to mark those as seams. And we're going to go to this edge here. Doing this one a little different. I'm marking a seam at the top of the radius. I don't think it really matters. But I'm going to mark this seam here. And then I'm not going to worry about that seam or that seam or that seam. It's just going to be one long unrolled one. Then I'm going to say A. I'm going to go to the top. UV. Project from view. There it is. Now you notice it didn't jump to this texture because this texture is not applied. So I'm going to tab into this, or tab out of it. While I have that one selected, I'm going to come over here and I'll pick the texture. Now we need to get this texture to be the same size as this texture. So I'm going to tab in, scroll this over, hit A. Now here's a neat thing too. I'm going to tab both, click on both, hit all, tab in. So now everything, you can select multiple objects and edit them at the same time. So awesome. Because now I can come up here and go UV, average islands. And then we can say scale, make it bigger. And they're the same scale. It's a little too much. Let's go with right about there. Then we're gonna click out. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed this so far. Might be a little long one. Now we have two nice tops. Now we need to add some dirt and scratches. And one of the things is these are the same textures. So whatever I add here is going to add over here. So one of the things we can do is we can make this its own texture, make that its own texture. So what if I want like stains here and stains down here on this box? You'd want those to be different textures. Yes, it says wood flooring 0653K, but if I come over here while this is selected and hit this new material button, now it's 001. But we're going to call this something completely different. We're going to call this Alchemy. I always do that wrong. Is it MUI or EMY? EMY. Yeah, it's EMY. Table. And we're going to call this work zone. Okay. And this one over here, we're going to disconnect it as well, because we don't want to mess with the main one. This is going to be ALCHEMY. I called it table, but we're calling it desk. Let's just call it desk. I'll go back and rename the other one. Alchemy desk top long. And then I'll call that other one. We'll change. It's the way I am. I change it constantly, right? You do it, change it, do it, change it. Alchemy desk top short. Okay. So in order to add that stuff, we got to open this up, come in here like this. We want to do a file save. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move these over to give ourselves some more space here. Then we're going to add a image texture node by hitting Shift A, texture, image texture. And we're going to drop that in right about here. We're going to actually drop another one in, so we're going to do a Shift D on that, drop it down here. I'm also going to copy these two. No, just this one. Shift D, bring that down here. We're going to pull that UV into that vector. This is going to be used in a little bit. I'm just kind of combining everything together. Over here, we're going to leave that alone for now. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our smudges. So I'm going to say open. And one of the things I should start to learn to do is to make a folder that's imperfections and put them all in there, because you never use them as a texture. They're always their own thing. So we're going to go with smudges. Now which one do we want? Stains, liquid, generic 5. Go in here. Go into this folder, which it doubles the folder up because it was in a zip file. And then I'm going to go into regular. The preview just kind of gives you an image to look at. I'm going to go 3K, and then we want to display this differently so we can look at them. So we want thumbnails. And we want the black on the white on black texture, this one. I'm going to say open. So what we are going to do is select this one and do non-color. Then we're going to do a Shift A. We're going to go to color, mix RGB. We're going to drop that here. We're going to switch this over to screen. Then we're going to drag this down to the color. I actually connected that wrong. What we're going to do is connect that to the bottom one. Disconnect the top one. We now are going to drag this down and drop it between the roughness here. And we're going to want to connect this to here and this color to the roughness here. And we should be able to see some of this. I can kind of see some here. Let's drag the factor up. Yeah, you see it right here. It's subtle, but you can see the water stains. You guys see that? Isn't that neat? Like somebody dribbled water all over the desktop here. Okay, so now we're going to bring in the scratches. So I'm going to hit open. We're going to go to textures again. To textures. Not used to this file format. Textures. We're going to go down to surface imperfections. Like I said, I should put this all in one folder. Outside. So we got scratches. Which one did we want? Scratches light 005. Regular. This one we want to do black scratches on white background because it's a displacement kind of thing. So we're going to say open image. We're going to want to switch this to non-color data. We're going to do a Shift A, vector, bump. We want to drop that in right here between the normals and the normal. What this allows us to do is keep our normal that we already have and add another normal to it. So we want to connect the color to the height. Okay, it's because I had that one thing selected. Now see all the scratches? Way too many scratches. Way too big. So we're going to connect this to here and this UV down to here. Now nothing's changed, but we can change the scale to be like 10. I'll switch back to this so we can see it. You see all the scratches. Black on white. Let's say open. And then we're going to change the scale to like 10. Still a lot of scratches. And one of the things we might want to do is we might want to take this side surface and apply it to the main texture. So what I'm saying there is we might want to do this. Loop select all that, including the bottom. And we're going to take those and we're going to go to the material and we're going to hit a plus sign. We're going to assign it and then we're going to change it to the wood flooring 65. That way the scratches, it's still the same scale and everything, but it's not carrying over and down. That looks like this. Now you can see the scratches. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's a heavy work area. I might find one that has less scratches. But we'll do that later. Now we're going to go over to this desk here. One thing I think I might want to do is I might want to take a knife and cut it through here. And take this texture and overlay it into that area. The reason for it is this stuff's not going to just stop right at that edge. So let's do that. Let's tab in here. Let's grab this edge here. I'm going to do a subdivide. And then I'm going to grab that point. GG. It's not working the way I want it to. GG, nope. GY, GX. Move that to about where that table is. And then I'm going to go in the top view. And I don't use knife too often. So I'm going to click that point. And I had to click off and it did that. But that won't matter. What we're going to do is come over here, hit knife again, pick that, and go to there. Enter. And then I'm just going to dissolve this line that I made. And then here, I'm going to pick this face, and I'm going to add a new texture. And it's going to be our short. I'm going to assign it. So that workstation should look like it flows over. And then we're going to do our own stuff over here. I'm going to tab into this. I'm going to pick faces. Alt select this in the bottom. And we're going to add another surface. And we're going to assign that. And we're going to go back to wood flooring 65. So whatever I do up here does not affect that there. Okay. Like I said before, that's too many scratches. I need to find a really something that's not so scratched. This is too many scratches. I mean, that's like somebody took a knife and just spent time scratching. But anyways, for this area over here, now we're back to where we were. I'm going to cheat on this. I'm going to select this. Oops, I guess I can do here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab all of this stuff here that we made. Control C, pick this other area. We're going to drag this back, give us some room. I'm gonna go Control V, and I'm gonna drag that and drop it right there. I'm gonna drag this one. It's not auto drag or clicking, so that's fine. Just connect them up. And once I connect this one, the other ones will disappear. Same with this. Normal to normal. Normal to normal. There we go. Now they should look the same, shouldn't they? I see the water stains, which look good. Oh, it's because I didn't take this UV and mark it to here. Alright, so over here I'm going to do, maybe we won't do scratches over here. So in that case we can take this normal back over to there and we can just delete these because we don't need scratches over here. But we do want something here, and I think I'm going to go with fingerprints. Okay, I found the type of smudges I want for this side, and the type of scratches I'm going to replace over here. So let's start off by going over here. Actually, I don't have to go over there. I can go over here to this one. I'm going to come down my scratches. We're going to open it. And the one I want is called gun scratches. So we change up their format. Gun scratches, regular, 3x, white with black, or black with white. Still looks like way too much, doesn't it? So I'm gonna come over here and change the scale to, like, let's see, 14 looks like more. Let's go with 5. That probably looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I like that for now. It's a heavy work area. This probably look kind of weird though. It may look weird. We'll work it out. Now, this area here, we want to open up our stains. And we're going to go back. I'm trying to figure out, remember which one it was. Smudges. I'm not really seeing them. I'm not really seeing them here, so I mean that's way obvious right there. Guess it won't be too obvious once the shadowing is all turned on. I'm going to do a full render of this just to see what it looks like. I might put the scratches over here, but a lot lighter so they blend in better. So I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to go ahead and steal the scratches. Sorry, I know a lot of times people automatically look like they know what they're doing. I like to figure things out. I don't know at all. I'm learning to. That's what this whole series is about. It's really about me learning. So I'm not gonna do it like this, because that's obviously just looks like somebody just took a wood chipper to the top. So I'm gonna change those scratches from gun, which still looks like too much. Try just to see how they look. So scratches light 8 is one that I got. God, that looks weird. I think I don't want scratches back here, because why would you have scratches back there? So basically, I'm going to put it there and go GY. Stop it right around the edge of that. GY. There. K. There. There. I'm gonna probably change this one out again. This one I'm going to assign to here. I mean, it should all still look like the same piece of wood. And I don't know if this is over exaggerating it. Let's get a close up and look how bad it looks. It actually doesn't look too bad. I think this is over exaggerated. I'm gonna change this pattern on this one though. I don't like that one. I'm gonna go ahead and texture the rest of this. It's not gonna take much other than, I mean, it's gonna take a lot of time. It's not gonna take any messing with the textures over here too much. It's gonna take some lining up with the board here. I'm not gonna have to use the shader. But basically, if I just clicked on all these and I took this material here and swapped it out with the wood flooring 65, and we're going to do it this way. Oops. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Control L. Materials. That's a quick way to copy the materials over, and then all I gotta do is rearrange each piece. I can do that with seams, or I can do that by grabbing each piece. Seams is the proper way to go in case you change wood texturing. So I'm gonna work through this. I'm also gonna change this handle. I'm gonna put something more cast iron looking on it. But yeah, hopefully this looks good and you guys like the tutorial, and you guys will want to come back and watch the next episode where I'm going to start adding stuff to the table, like bottles. Actually, I think the next episode, episode 9, is going to be an hourglass. So it'll be completely separate, but it'll end up on here, and I'll probably put a couple throughout the Wizard's Tower, because hourglasses, you know, I might have an hourglass and then a minute glass so they can time them differently. There's going to be another episode where we do scales for measuring out powders and stuff, kind of stuff. And there's going to be all the other alchemy stuff. Potions are just going to be added in because I already did a tutorial on that. And if you want to follow that, here's the link up here. But if you like this, please subscribe. Alright guys, I appreciate your time. And until next week, stay creative.